Hi everyone. Today we are thrilled to have Professor Dr. Abha Singh with us. She's joining us on the occasion of UN Psychology Day that is celebrated on 23rd of April worldwide. And Professor Dr. Abha Singh is a senior expert behavioral psychologist and academic leader whose work bridges insight with real world behavioral science. With leadership roles from Dean to Pro Vice Chancellor and global academic engagement in the USA, she brings a rare blend of scholarship and practical expertise. And through sci fi solutions, ma'am makes psychological science work for your everyday life, driving excellence, growth, and real transformation. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today on this wonderful occasion. And just to begin our conversation on this amazing day, so this date has been formally designated by the UN. And what does a day like this actually mean to someone who has spent their career inside the science?
I'm happy to be here. And good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and namaste. Because people will be watching digital platforms,
Exactly.
so I'm addressing in all context. And happy UN Psychology Day to you and to everyone.
True, ma'am.
This is very important to me as a psychologist. And that's why when you call me, I said no. We have to do something to create psychological awareness for the impact for self and society in the context of mental health and overall health. You know, I understand that mental health is the foundation of overall
Yeah.
health and holistic health, if you ask me.
Yes.
Now, this 19th annual Psychology Day celebrated by UN for 193 states, that country is involved.
Nice.
And I am seeing that there is no information online except UN broadcast and their pamphlets and their flyers on the context of UN psychology, its significance, importance, relevance. Now you ask me that what is the importance? Psychology is everywhere, my dear.
Exactly.
You really experience psychology in your whole life, but it is not that we study, but we also experience in our life, not as a student of psychology only, everyone as a human being. So it is a science of human life.
True.
So UN designated this long back at 2007, and there are many associations like American Psychological Association where convention happened. So they all deliberated and they found that the relevance of psychology is everywhere.
Yeah.
And the conventions they all talked about, and when UN decided that psychology interdisciplinary interdependency approach is there in everything, if you ask me.
True.
So that is how that contribution of psychological impact on mental health, on if you see climate change, if you see human right, there's so many things we can go on talking. But these were three key areas. If you study the past, why it was in that structured way, it was given to the whole world.
True.
But it is very sad to see that nobody is doing anything. That's why I thought we all need to celebrate this day, that how important it is for us as a human life, and it caters to first human right, article 1 and article 4, if you see the universal human right declaration, if you have read that document. The first basic fundamental right is live with dignity.
Exactly.
And freedom and security, where we are getting without psychology, if you ask me. So psychology is in and everywhere in us, and we find in every person and in every facet of society, community, nation, and the world.
Exactly.
So if you ask me, I always promoted this slogan as academician when I was in leadership position, that healthy mind, healthy country. So for our nation, we did it, Swasth Man, Swasth Bharat.
Yes.
So healthy mind, healthy India. But where we always talk about Swachh Bharat, Swasth Bharat, स्वच्छ तभी होगा ना जब हम स्वस्थ रहेंगे, स्वस्थ तभी हम रहेंगे जब हमारा मन स्वस्थ रहेगा. इस रिलेशनशिप को कोरिलेशन अगर देखा जाए बहुत हाई इन आवर रिसर्च एविडेंस वी सी एज अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट. आई डोंट हैव टू गिव यू दैट data right now, but we all know it. So how do we derive that significance of psychology contribution for creating better progress for human life?
True.
And psychology has end goal to enhance quality of life, and quality of life is not only mental, it's everything. So that is how psychology becomes part and parcel of everything we do in our life, whether it is innovation, whether it is health, whether it's engineering, whether it is art, whether it is craft, whatever you talk, you go on asking me, I'll tell you how it is related. So it has a contribution in fostering. The theme of this year 2026 is psychological contribution of fostering collective action in uncertain times we are living today, we all know it,
Pretty
and
uncertain.
advancing human rights in a world which is in a conflict zone we all the time we are.
Yes.
So advancing human right in a world in a conflict situation. So when you are in conflict, and I remember myself, how I got interested in psychology, because in school people found me that I used to solve everybody's conflict, So when I was reading today's theme, I thought, oh, that's why I came to psychology field, because how to get rid of conflict when it you have from experience, you experience within intra conflict, which we say in psychology. I'm not here to give lecture on psychology, but just to tell you, we are talking of conflict today, whole world is talking about it.
Exactly.
So conflict first starts in our own experience, that is intrapersonal conflict, then interpersonal, no? So how do you gauge that? How do you understand that I'm in conflict? How do you see the human behavior? How do we understand that disturbed uh, behavior of a person in front of you? So can you not gauge it? Can you not observe it? That's what. And that's how the UN initiative. It interests me a lot every time. Whatever UN days for psychology, I keep on celebrating. So today we are celebrating in this manner. We are at least creating awareness.
Yes.
That's also part of celebration. The activity listed in the UN Charter.
Most people don't even know that this day exists.
So I'm very happy that through your habit hacking platform, you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
That at least you're bringing this awareness to many people who are not only psychologists, but also a person who is enjoying in his own field. How can he give his best?
Exactly.
Psychology has a high correlation with progress.
Yeah.
So you are giving that platform to people to understand and hack that behavior, which can help them to progress and prosper, not for themselves but society, for nation. Whatever you are doing, it is adding to nation as well. That's how UN is uh, creating this kind of day to help people understand how psychology impacts the whole world. That's the message which I get, and I share this with you.
That's wonderful, ma'am.
Yeah.
And on that note, one of the things that this day is meant to promote is scientific psychology,
Yeah.
which basically implies that what most people are actually getting is something else. When you look at the content that young people are consuming about their own minds every day on Instagram, LinkedIn, the reels, the self help frameworks, and the viral mental health advice. So, what is it doing to them that the science would push back on?
See, today pop psychology, which you are talking,
Yes.
hinting at pop psychology,
Yes.
and that is popular psychology. Psychology was always popular, if you ask me. I was a student of psychology since my 10th and 12th, so I am still a passionate student of psychology. So it always fascinates everyone. Why? Do you have an answer on it? Why it fascinates everyone?
I don't know.
Because it talks about their mind and behavior. Everybody has mind and behavior, and if you remember, I used to teach in the class the T system. My personality classes. The T system includes thought. Stands for thought, and E for emotion, and A for action. Who does not have that T system in personality? Everyone. You are sitting with that T system. I'm answering you with that T system. My thought, my emotion.
Exactly.
The more integrated, best I would be. The more integrated you asking question, you will be asking best questions.
Exactly.
So that's how it operates. So that's why everybody is interested to know that what is in our mind, what is the psyche which is telling us, iska matlab kya hai, what this behavior indicates.
What psychology says.
Yeah, and what psychology says. And mind reading. Somebody knows you are a psychology person. Oh, you can tell me my face, read my face and tell me about myself.
Most
we
common
are not
question.
face reader of my. We are a scientist in our own approach, and we do We read behavior and then understand the mind.
Exactly.
We don't go straight to in the mind. We read behavior and then understand and give our analysis of that behavior which relates to his mind.
Yes.
This is an approach. But you can't do that as a panacea you have, that you just put a wand and you get to know what is this happening. It's not like that. Yeah. But there are many tests. Everybody's talking about so many things in a pop psychology today. And people are fascinated. I just want to give a message to everybody, you can be fascinated with everything. But if it is doing harm to you, you need to wait and watch and
Yeah.
pause and get a scientific view and a professional view on that.
Exactly.
One of the case came to me because I have my center for helping people on mental health, and friend advised you, when you're college friends, you have friends, they become your best mates, and
Yeah.
they give you advices. And I'm not against, so don't get me wrong, I'm not against any friend or any closeness in relationship, but am I that person? If you are in that position, are you a right person to advise that in that situation the person is going through, whatever problem he or she is going through? So we need to understand that if you just advise and that person has not improved, you are not a psychologist or behavioral scientist or a psychiatrist or, matter of fact, whatever doctor you need in that situation. So we need to understand, if that advice I am giving, friendly advice, it is not scientific advice. No.
Yes.
Why do we go to doctor when we are not well? For medical reason, isn't it? Why not for psychological reason? What stops us?
Exactly.
What stops us, I don't know. I will tell you, if you have a something creative instinct, please make a ad, advertisement, I want to say, as you see the advertisement of other things. I have made this dream that somebody will make an advertisement, and once I saw in Government of India Health Ministry, they did something, but it was only one. After that, they stopped.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, they don't want to promote mental health awareness. When you have an advertisement on that telling that if you are sad for a few days, and you are feeling bad for a few days, then you become sad for a few days, then you become mad for a week, then you need to see a doctor. So I have a sequence: you feel bad, then you feel sad, and then you go mad.
Yeah.
So when you feel sad and bad, okay. But when you go to that other, I think, dimension of same, I think, when you measure yourself, you need to see a doctor in the area which you are going through, whether depression, whether anxiety, phobia, whatever. And people just give advices on depression. Depression is such a loosely term used in our country. I have no right to use if I don't know anything about it.
Exactly.
And this pop psychology is doing that damage to the concepts. Theoretical concept need to be understood first, whether I should use depression word. Depression सभी को हो जाता है. अरे उसके symptoms हैं, इसके behavioral symptoms हैं, उसके psychological symptoms हैं, इसके physiological symptoms हैं, उनके cognitive symptoms हैं. आपको क्या पता है?
It's creating a victim mindset among people, especially
So
the new
I don't know
generation.
how to address, but we as psychologists need to talk more on this. And I am seeing non-psychology people doing more psychology work, which pains me a lot.
Yes.
And I'm not saying they're all quacks, but it seems so, if you ask me. Not harming and I think belittling anybody, please don't take me wrong. But it's just to give human life respect and gratitude, because you're dealing with human life. You can't take it for granted.
True.
Anybody's life. So you have to be very, very sensitive and respectful for whatever, I think, problem you are dealing with for that person. True. So that's how I look at it.
That's a good insight. Plus, I think what I believe is that most of the psychologists or counselors or psychiatrists, they're too busy seeing clients day by day.
Yeah.
That they can't.
Caseloads are so much.
Exactly. They can't take out time to actually promote psychology out. And that gives a chance to these quacks that, they do their work on their behalf. And
also, a lot of community work. Today we are living in societies, so a lot of community mental health work is required.
Exactly.
And I see the initiative by NIMHANS and our health department. They have taken for digital let go initiative. So these kinds of initiative from government and private partnership is important to create awareness on mental health, because mind matters.
A lot.
You can't say that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mind matters, and if you can control it and manage it in more healthy and positive manner, it will impact you, not only you, but the surrounding. That's
Surroundings.
how it is.
So if that is what people are getting from
Mm.
this, like what are they actually missing? And when someone genuinely engages with the psychological research rather than the simplified version, what
Mhm.
changes for them? And what does scientific psychology offer that pop psychology structurally cannot?
See, there's a two thing here.
Yeah.
When you compare pop psychology with scientific evidence to psychology, when I say evidence based counseling,
Yeah.
you will understand something which is very scientific. It has worked for many people, it will work for me. As we have in medicines, and medical science, that it is well researched, that
Researched.
medicine and that you use it because it works. Same in psychological science. But when you see the pop psychology, people are glued to it because it is so artistic, so catchy, and which the scientific people are missing that, the creative instinct. So, as a psychologist, I feel that I can also be creative. So,
Of course.
when I research and when I do some researches and when I get finding, I put it in a simple manner. You know, if I had done PhD on organization commitment, so what is one line I give to the whole world on the PhD thesis which I have done? Maybe I got a gold medalist on that. What is my finding? How can you tell you in one line that see commitment enhances like this?
Yeah.
There is a prediction which I have done in my research. So how we simplify those technical terms, Tarun, we need to make it very simple as people are doing in pop psychology. So, but you are talking science.
Yeah.
You are talking science of mind, but with that relevance, with that significance, with that evidence. That's my point. If people get to know, they will understand. And then this message for everybody, I am telling here to in your on your show that they should always check the source.
Exactly.
I also see a lot of things on YouTube. I always check the source. And once I was doing on meditation researches, because I use spiritual sciences and integrative science for mental health healing and mental health wellness. So I see the significance. What is the significance of this system of meditation? So once I saw the report of NASA, on the first time I saw that YouTube report that they had given that reference. So it is not everyone. So I took that significance of that NASA report, because that YouTube message on meditation and something, which I am doing a music therapy research on that. So I thought, no, this chanting of Mahamrityunjay Jap of Shiva chanting, which we all know in our
Yes.
culture, is helping people, and it is creating sacrum aura around you to heal you. This is the NASA report. So why not I believe in this? Because that person has given reference and listed those things which he based on his research he has made. So this kind of approach we all need to have. We should have a scientific mind, if you ask me. जो स्कूल में हमें पढ़ाया जाता है साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट कहाँ गया वो टेम्परामेंट?
क्वेश्चन करवा चीज को.
अरे कहाँ गया आजकल कोई साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट दिखा नहीं रहे. आप अपने सामान खरीद, व्हेन यू बाय समथिंग यू डू सच अ गुड रिसर्च. When it comes to your mind health, you don't mind that.
Exactly.
You have to mind your mind health also, na? So do research and find out which is the best and go for it. And a message to all psychologists and researchers that simplify things so that you try to come to that level of that influence in a simple way, not using high technical. We have to be very simple. If you have a knowledge, you will be simple.
True.
PhD doesn't allow me to be a very, I think, technical. I will be more. I have to simplify things, with my research, with my learning, with my knowledge. That's my point. So if you use in that kind of simplistic term, whatever I post in my post, if you see, I always use science behind it.
Exactly.
People are not doing that. But once they know it, because if everybody starts doing it, people will start seeing. But I will not change my style, na? Because if I do that way, that is again people tell me, मैम आप ऐसे करो. नहीं, गलत नहीं. ये जो सही है, जिसको finding आई है, उसी को हम promote करेंगे.
I
That's
think
how it is.
one of the major reasons for that is because research doesn't get likes and comments and shares. Because I've tried this method on my own LinkedIn. When I post something research backed, science backed, evidence backed, it hardly gets any notice. But when I post something controversial, any like psychology safe post, a pop psychology post, it gets hundreds of likes.
Mm.
So that is something
So
which
we have to
is,
change our approach, no, Tarun? You can
yes,
see that how it fits in that culture, because culture drives everything.
exactly.
Today's trend, what exactly it is. So how do I place, use my words, select
Hmm.
my words, properly, and the
True.
designing. The designing part is very important here.
Hmm.
How it attracts and catches people
The
attention, and
aesthetic
your
of it.
title.
Yeah,
As a scientific researcher, the title is most important for me.
true.
So same here. So how do we put it? And also there's a lot of technique, artificial intelligence today, chat gpt is giving to you.
Hmm.
So how best you can amalgamate all these things to put it one straight way, that how it will help you,
Hmm.
and the benefits. And somebody's interview that I use it, I got this result, as they do it, though we don't check that evidence, but they tell us.
Exactly.
So we checked it, we have data, we don't show that. So we can make it more, I think, people friendly, I would say, and generation, which generation today, Gen Z, or what kind of generation we are in,
Hmm.
to cater their mind and make them understand this is something which is going to really work for you, not only short term but also long term.
Long term.
That's how it should be. And psychology is a science, it's not a something that it is just based on something which you and me are talking. It's based on some scientific reasons which we are talking, and that helps people for their mental health, and this kind of information they can provide to others as well.
Hmm.
So that's how it should be.
And I really want to follow that thread somewhere bigger. Like, if
Mm,
psychological well being is something the
mhm.
science can genuinely support,
Yeah.
then there is an argument that access to it is not a personal project or a lifestyle choice.
Hmm.
Like, it is a right, the right to live with dignity, as you said earlier.
Hmm.
So, what does it actually mean to hold mental health as a human right? And what does that demand of the systems and institutions people move through every day?
Let's start with ourselves.
Hmm.
Family.
Hmm.
Hmm. Why we are, because family makes society, and society is made by family units. If you
True.
see the social psychology subject,
Hmm.
so when you see a family, and I see many people when they talk to me, that human right is missing. मैंने कह दिया ना कर लो. That's not the way to talk to your children as well.
Exactly.
But we have that culture. I'm not saying parents need not say talk to their child, and they have no right to tell them like that, but at least that person has a conscience.
Yeah.
Let that conscience grow, let that soul prosper. We are not understanding that mind, he has his own right. Yeah, if he's derailed and he needs some guidance, we need to give. But a person is an adult, let him decide what he's going to do, and if he is not understanding, we have to guide him. We don't have to drive him mad. And there are many cases when I was in university, I used to see they forced in engineering, then they, after fourth year, parents get enlightenment that now my child will not do engineering, now I'll shift him to design, art and design. It's too late. You have, I think, killed his 4 years.
Exactly.
That will never come to, and that haunting behavior, that thought which he used to carry all the time, do you think it will vanish so easily?
Not really.
That trauma will remain. And the trauma psychology says that we try to work on that, but that imprint is always there. It just gets dimmer and dimmer, but it is there. Infusion science has really conveyed this. Though through spiritual science, meditation, people have worked on that, but still that imprint, if you want to get a flashback, you get it.
It will remain.
So why we should get into this? So your question, human right, is my right of dignity taken from me? My security? I am secured in this family or not? Am
Exactly.
I secured in this? Why? Because neuroscience, I talk every science and psychology, because neuroscience has given this message to us through researches, that brain is a single organ which controls the whole body. Number one. Number two, brain needs security, safety, and comfort to be functional,
True.
not to be dysfunctional. So human right is linked here. Am I feeling comfortable at my home? Am I not threatened every time? I'm not seeing that somebody is coming and I'm just trying to hide myself, you know.
That feeling of insecurity is
Insecurity,
always.
why
Yeah.
children they need parents? In our culture we say Matra Pita Devo Bhav,
Hmm.
Guru Devo Bhav. That pedestal we are
Keep
in.
them,
But
yes.
do we have that pedestal and that kind of position, if you ask me? That position is same as God, godly behavior. So I used to ask in my workshops,
Hmm.
what is a godly behavior? Be kind, listen, and loving, compassionate. Then I asked, do you have all these things? तो मातृ पिता देवो भव तो नहीं है, तो क्या होगा कल्चरल? बच्चे डर क्यों रहे? Now people in India say fear has a bigger market in our society. Why?
Yes.
You relate it, that means we don't have the dignity.
Exactly.
You know, we are all time fearful. क्या होगा, अब क्या होगा? I'm not saying on that philosophical term. Please don't take me wrong, Tarun. I'm talking in the context of the reality of life which happens at home. You know,
Hmm.
how parents operate with their children.
Exactly.
We are all, I think, because of our parents. What I am, what you are today. That upbringing matters a lot. And from there I get a message, my human right has not been sacrificed by my parents. They gave me full freedom to talk, to express, and to live with dignity and respect. Unless until I respect myself,
No one else.
the human right means I'm honest to myself. If you ask me, simple way I
Exactly.
define, am I honest to myself? If you get that answer, you are fulfilling the first right on Article 1 and 4, that I have that human right dignity. Nobody can take that dignity unless you give easily.
Yes. And respect first comes from
क्या
within, then from
क्या
outside.
अगर आपको खुद ही अपने लिए रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है तो फिर अब डिग्निटी की बात हम क्या करें? तो
Exactly.
मेंटल हेल्थ सारी प्रॉब्लम तो यहीं से शुरू होती है ना. लो सेल्फ एस्टीम, इफ यू हैव रेड चैप्टर, इट स्टार्ट व्हेन
Yes.
यू डोंट रिस्पेक्ट योरसेल्फ, यू हैव लो सेल्फ एस्टीम. लो सेल्फ एस्टीम का मतलब ही है कि आई डोंट रिस्पेक्ट माई सेल्फ. You know, I
Exactly.
don't accept myself, I don't love myself. So these are three very important factors which we talk in context of self-esteem. So this is how I relate it. So
Nice.
this is the human right, has to be studied by psychology student, and that's
Hmm.
why when I was in the university I used to have that paper for student used to fight me, मैम human right क्यों पढ़े? बट पढ़ना चाहिए, तभी तो आप गाइड करोगे, काउंसलिंग करोगे लोगों को एज अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट कि आपकी ह्यूमन राइट सैक्रिफाइस तो नहीं हो रहा. Domestic, one example, domestic violence. Either way, I'm not saying only men,
Yeah,
women,
yeah.
but men also are suffering now today. So how majority is women, if you ask me the data.
Exactly.
So it is the violence is itself is a violation of human right. You know, so that discrimination is another, if you ask me.
Hmm.
So we can go on talking on so many issues where human right is sacrificed.
Exactly.
And when human right is sacrificed, mental health has already been sacrificed. So that's how I look at as a psychologist. You know?
And I think any psychologist or counselor, they
Yeah.
should not restrict themselves to the knowledge of psychology. They should study everything around it.
Yeah, interdisciplinary we have to be.
Exactly.
Psychology is interdisciplinary science.
Exactly.
I can't stand on my own and say, no, you don't have this,
Yeah.
and I am not knowledgeable in that. I need to study before I talk, you know,
Exactly.
or I should have knowledge on that. And that's how I can then make it a look integrative approach to deal with that problem and give solutions. Because UN is saying psychology can give you global solutions. They have used this word, global solutions, and deal with challenges of everyday life. So psychology in action, they are saying. If you see their write-up, psychology in action, psychology in everyday life. What we are doing. If I ask you, for example, if you have another question on that, I think you should have that question also. If I ask you today, what did you do today? Psychology in action. Did you experience today? Psychology was in action today for you. Like before you coming here, or
I think
in what way?
I think psychology is always active.
Yeah. So if
It's everywhere.
if you are healthy, because psychology is active.
Exactly.
My ego is not ahankar one. That ego, Sigmund Freud one.
Yeah.
When my ego is there, that's why I'm healthy. You know. So psychology is there. If psychology is active whole day, then I'm functional personality. Otherwise, I would become dysfunctional. So that's how UN is giving us a message to look at life and look at the human resource. No, I would not say human resource. If you ask me, this is the wrong way to say. I think I agree. Many great leaders are saying the human resource should be converted human potential department.
Yeah, yeah,
So it should be, we human have potential. We are not resource like materials and matters and things like that. We are human life. We have potential. You have a lot of potential to do many things as a psychologist, and as you are doing at this age. So who does not have? At this age, I thought, no, I should retire. No, why should I? I have
exactly.
now full knowledge or whatever. I feel I don't have any knowledge. So I need to go on giving back whatever I have gathered from society. Now time is to give back. And that's how I thought, what a good day today to talk to you. And that's why I told you, no, if why should we do later? Let's
Exactly.
talk today and create awareness of Human Psychology Day, and we should celebrate Human Psychology Day by talking on psychology and creating psychological awareness to give people understanding how psychology is in action in everyday life. If you want to be functional and healthy and happy personality, you cannot undermine and you have to underscore psychology, not undermine. That's how I look at it.
And actually, what a wonderful day to start this entire podcast series on, because I think today is an auspicious day in the field of entire mental health, not
Yeah.
just psychology.
Yeah, very true.
Because,
Very true.
yeah, and the institution that most people move through every single day is work, right? And it is also where psychological dignity gets compromised most quietly and most consistently.
Hmm.
So, what does it actually look like when an organization takes this seriously? Not a wellness app or a mental health day, but something that genuinely changes how people experience being at work.
See, that's a very, very pertinent and relevant question as a Tarun habit hacker, I would say. But also, if you see the WHO report, is alarming.
Hmm.
Workplace safety, workplace safety for mental health. These are important data which is alarming, and it has been reported that if organization invests in mental health work and mental health initiative as a part of their systematic policies, not like any 1 day or 2 day, but systematic policy and structured policy, it has a fourfold return. If I spend $1, I get in return. So it is ROI is 4 times. This is the data of WHO, not mine. You can read that article. So just imagine, if that is so, then why organization are raised? They are having CSR activities and they give funds on that.
Exactly.
Sometimes I just think they are not thinking beyond that. And great company, like I remember when I was teaching, as I am an organization psychologist from my specialization. So I used to teach in my classes GE case study. General Electric company. That was the first company where they introduced EAP,
Oh,
Employee Assistance
yeah.
Program. That employee get assisted when they have some problems,
Yes.
without anybody knowing. But today, if HR is tracking you and telling you कि you can go and they have all the data, then what is the privacy? You will
Exactly.
feel you will feel threatened कि मुझे कोई देख रहा, मैं मेंटल हेल्थ के लिए जा रहा हूँ. कोई जोर से बोल के तो नहीं जाता मैं मेंटल हेल्थ के लिए. ये तो प्रॉब्लम है. जोर से बोल के जाइए मेंटल हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम है, मैं जा रहा हूँ.
And ma'am,
क्यों
on
नहीं
that, on
क्यों नहीं
that,
करते हम लोग ये? आप
exactly.
सर्दी खांसी के लिए बोलते मुझे बुखार हो गया, मैं नहीं आऊंगा. मैंने कहा मुझे डिप्रेशन टाइप फील हो रहा, सिम्टम्स आ रहे हैं, मैं अगर डिप्रेशन वर्ड ही यूज कर रहे हैं लोग आज.
Exactly.
I should say I'm feeling that I'm low today. My energy is not in a spirit, that spirit every day which I used to have. I will not go to office. I will tell you I have that mental health. So you give me leave. So in USA their leave is sanctioned on that
Yeah,
also. In
they
India
have
we
mental
have
health
still
days.
struggling. We don't have policy. In fact, I think we have got some insurance policy now on mental health,
Yeah.
but not the leave. So what my point is, if you have read Maslow theory, everybody must have psychology
Yeah.
people, and even people who read organization psycho, they read Maslow theory.
Yeah.
The Maslow three need hierarchy. Uh, we all know that pyramid. We have all kinds of
Different
basic
needs.
need
Yeah.
and self-esteem need and belongingness need and all kinds of need which is there. But one thing Maslow very important, he said in the context of this theory, that in the context of job satisfaction, because that we always talk in the job context also, that pyramid, he said that job satisfaction concept, how do you get job satisfaction? You raised that question that people are heavily When they go to work, they are most of the time they are in the work. He stated a very important point, and I always remember and I always convey this to whenever I get time and opportunity like this one. So he stated that your waking hours, not dreaming hours, waking hours, जागता हुआ समय सबसे ज़्यादा you spend on your workplace. 8 to 9 hours, more than also that.
True.
Same children, school, college. These are the places where mental health has been made up by the organizations. If that culture is there, you will be healthy in mental health and health. But if that culture is not including the systems, where will we go? So that he gave that it is same as job satisfaction when you spend your waking hours happily. When your waking hours is in stress, anxiety, you're going to have some ailments later on.
Exactly.
Today you are young, maybe later on you'll get it. So question yourself: am I happy in my waking hours? Through your podcast and this message, I want to give to everyone. Check yourself. Easy tip I'm giving here.
That's a very strong insight.
So waking hours of mine is spent in mental stimulation all the time, or I'm restful, or I'm having anxiety all the time. That is, you need to decide for yourself.
True.
And that leads to a lot of problems today, whether it is respiratory, whether it is digestive, whatnot. I can go on saying the medical ailment according to the mental health problems we see today. So he gave a very good analogy there. If you have read that chapter, that job is like your partner, life partner. You know, when you're married to right partner, your life is happy in heaven. When you're married to wrong partner, your life is hell. Same is your job. That's how he explained analogy through this example. So then I get to know if my waking hours, whether at home, whether at college, whether at school, whether at places where I work, whatever organization I am, multinational or a government, what I am happy or I am stressful.
True.
If you are happy, go ahead. If you are stressful, leave or take action. Psychology in action. There, UN Day has been celebrated to tell you psychology in action is required. Please do something.
Yes.
So this is how I understand. And today, workplace mental health is a priority for everyone. And this year, I think you can plan your podcast and mental health, World Mental Health Day. We have this theme only.
Yeah.
Mental health at workplace. So it is coming very soon because the data is so alarming. Even I think the World Health Organization has thought of it, which we are talking today. You know. So we are on driving people to let know that how you need to understand if you are stressed, you are not blessed. You need to understand if stress, anxiety is there, I need to take action. Psychology in every day is not active.
Exactly.
Whether it is leading you to functional personality or dysfunction, question yourself. We are no one to question anybody. We all get that insight, that experience. And people are talking today of emotional intelligence at work. Fine emotional intelligence. There's a concept when I researched emotional agility, which for a Harvard professor Susan David is talking about. And I agree with her. And that's how I'm creating this kind of awareness for people to understand that agility is important to understand inner experience. You have all the 5 factors of emotional intelligence, but you don't have agility.
True.
You can't scale it, whether for self or for the organization which you are working for. So it brings, as you talked about, leadership excellence is also important in organizations. How the leadership is there to excel for people or for themselves? This is a question to ask ourselves. If a leader is trying to excel for everybody, the mental health is working there.
Exactly.
Backdrop, there is mental health way out for people, and the structure system is so easy that people are contributing. And you have seen the researchers says when your mind is relaxed, your output is more. When mind is stressed, your output is low. It's all research evidence. So which one we want, stressed or blessed? Choice is ours, you know. So that's what and it's a very alarming situation at workplace mental health. We as psychologists need to create more awareness and we need to give easy techniques, scientific techniques to help them. I keep on writing on my handle for people to understand And that's how I'm trying to drive this concept of emotion agility, which is also a part of UN Psychology Day. The objective they have given, how you're making people emotional resilient. So resilient only will become when you have emotional agility. So at workplace is important. How agile I am. Agile means how happily I adjust, not forcefully. My boss has come, no, I need to adjust. No, I'm very free, I'm comfortable. Our culture requires some kind of amendments, if you ask me,
True, a
and
lot of
structural
them.
amendments, that boss and subordinate. Is there a participatory leadership happening at all levels? Leadership is not only at top, leadership is at every level. And when you talk in the context of psychology with me, I can go on talking, but I have to restrict seeing the time. That leadership means that you are initiating, you have psychology in action. If you don't drive yourself, you can't drive others. So are you driving yourself? If you are taking initiative, that means you have a leadership. The initiative लेना ही तो बहुत मुश्किल काम है. If somebody is taking initiative, he has leadership at every level. You need people like that. You want people. If you are running organization, you want people. कि हर भाई पूछे नहीं ना. They tell you with some good ideas, and you have go on. Please do it. Guidance चाहिए बता देंगे. At least they came with ideas. So this is best way to observe and detect in people's behavior, that if they have initiativeness. Another thing, as a leader, I have been for 30 years. I can tell you two things I always miss: initiativeness and complete finisher. देखिए दो पर्सनालिटी में है, तो ही कैन गिव यू फुल कमिटमेंट फॉर योर वर्क. एंड दो आई हैव रिसर्च कमिटमेंट, so I know in and out of people how can he give me the full commitment. So wherever I had performed, I have given my result, because of this trait of people which I used to find and give them the best they want. So everybody wants to be happy and safe. Yeah,
True.
if their brain is happy and safe, you get it. But today's organization they can also think in that context, whether my people are feeling safe. We see the cases of TCS today and hearing about so many
Yeah.
things, which is not acceptable to us as a corporate person. If I also have a experience of corporate training and experiences, so I always like that culture of so structured systems. And if this kind of message goes, people they will have that mental health issues all the time.
Of
That
course.
whether I'm in the safe zone or not, particularly for women, if you ask me, in our culture or any culture, if you ask me. So this is where I think workplace mental health is a priority today, not for our country. For WHO also is coming with this theme on this 10th October 2026 to celebrate World Mental Health Day.
Yes.
So that's what I think I believe in, that let's create this kind of awareness through your platform, that people know that if they have some questions, they come back to us and ask us or write to us, that yes, what is we can, there are no charges for it,
Exactly.
and we can give our knowledge.
We need it to be more accessible
And
to people.
they can give us feedback, that what kind of thing they want to understand the scientific psychological
Yeah.
science to be used in their daily life for healthy living, and happy living. That's what I can say.
Ma'am, I think I would like to ask you the last question for this video. So someone listening to this today goes back to their desk
Mhm.
or their team or their life. So, what is one thing specific and small that you would want them to do differently today?
Today they should ask how psychology was in action today. Unknowingly, knowingly, it was in action or inaction. So they need to question themselves, what was that thing which they noticed? Because they have not noticed. Now I'm giving this through this message, that they need to go back and experience and notice what was that one thing which they really did well, and there was psychology in action. And what was one thing which did not go well, there was psychology in action. They can find the relationship, they'll get the answer. So today they will also celebrate with us Psychology Day. And that's what
True.
UN has given us mandate to do that. And with our platform, we are doing as a scientific person in this area. They can also do as a human being, because every human life is impacted by the mind. And in the end, I would say the science of mind impacts the whole world. And that's
True.
how the psychology drives the world towards peace or conflict. To end, I would say, if you have any question.
No, ma'am, that was all from mine.
So to end this, I would say, if peaceful mind will lead to peaceful world. So that importance we have for this day of 23rd April, UN Psychology Day for this year 2026. So let's all join hand to create awareness and see how psychology is in action in everyday life, and make it so friendly and in a scientific way that it works for the progress of self, society, nation, and world. Thank you once again. I wish everybody happy UN Psychology Day. Thank you.
Thank
God
you, and
bless you.
thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your time today. And your insights have been really, really wonderful. And I hope someone might benefit
Yeah.
from this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.